it's been like, this is finally the tail end of all of our shit.
Yep. Alrighty. Welcome to the video podcast.
Videocast! There's me.
That was almost E.T.
Oh! They could all turn into everything, though.
I know. It's basically...
Dun, 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 dun.
I was like, is it John Williams? It's basically everything
They're all
John
the same,
Williams.
Yeah. He's got a beat that he likes. I'm adjusting my hair again.
He has a beat that everyone likes.
Dirty.
No!
I wanted to make it dirty.
No, it's just John Williams has a beat that everyone likes.
I like it.
Yeah.
John Williams, the beat that everyone likes.
Basically.
That's the name of his like mediocre biopic. Like not the good one. This is like the Lifetime version.
The Lifetime. Oh, are you gonna watch the Lifetime Harry and Meghan movie tomorrow night? No, tonight.
I will now. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, Lifetime Harry and Meghan movie tomorrow night? No, tonight.
I will now. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh no, it's coming up. Lifetime has made a Harry and Meghan movie.
I clicked on something where it was like cake for the wedding, the royal wedding, and I was like, oh, cute. I want to see what that'll look like. It's not. It's a cake of Harry and Meghan. A life-size cake that is disgusting and weird and creepy.
However, they did also have corgis dressed up like Harry and Meghan who got married.
I'm
all for.
No, it was too much. Reminded me of Tom Petty's "Don't Come Around Here No More."
Oh.
When they start to eat Alice, that still to this day scares the fuck out of me.
Or Star Trek, where Data cuts up the like cake tray.
Oh, I don't remember. I don't think I've gotten there.
It's like a sheet cake with like a Troy head.
I appreciate knowing that that's coming because that is one of my like don't feel good things.
Creepy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's actually Troy's head.
No, thank you. Okay, so before we get to the audio recording, podcast going out this week.
Yeah, podcards are finally going out. We were really sorry they're late, but we've already started designing this month's podcast, so those will definitely be out. So you get like 2 back-to-back.
Guys, there was just a lot of catch-up work. The reality of life is that we're just fucking behind. Sometimes it happens.
In everything.
Yes. But we're good now. We're people now.
We're peoples.
We're peopling. We're reading the books.
We're
taking the naps.
Yep.
We're unboxing the boxes.
To be fair, I'm also behind on the reading. We have a summer book club, and I'm already behind.
Technically, are you behind? Because I think technically we weren't supposed to start till tomorrow.
Technically, I still think I'm a little bit behind. I have to catch up today.
The problem is that some of us are overachievers.
Listen, I could have started reading before the start date, but no, I was waiting until the prescribed start date that we all agreed on. You were doing the
appropriate things, and I did not. But I blame friend Amanda.
We all blame Amanda for that.
Amanda, we love
you.
She had
finished the first book before we even started anyway. So.
Her excuse was, well, I have to lend it to you, so I have to be done with it. And I was like, solid points.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Should we get into the episode?
Yes, let's do this.
Alrighty.
Ready, go.
Go. Welcome to what episode is it? 124 of the Snowflakes Like Terra, a Stargate First Watch Rewatch podcast. I am Nixie.
And I'm Grace, and today we're going over Season 6, Episode 14. Smoke and Mirrors, a.k.a. Don't Fall for Sam Barrett. You're gonna die. That's my a.k.a. Because I don't have anything better.
Yeah, I don't.
I get to this point where I cringe when a guy starts to fall for Sam. I was like, this isn't going to go well for you. And it's not that I don't love Sam. Yeah. It's more just like, it is never going to be you that she chooses.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
It's just not a good idea.
You're going to die.
Probably.
Yeah. Or get hurt, or both, or all of it.
Something bad's going to happen. Yeah. I don't have an AKA yet. It's going to have to be one that we discover
We'll find it
as we go. So this episode first aired on December 18th, 2002. We're almost done with the Auto 2s.
I'm going to move this way because typing.
Okay. So that was the microphone. Story by Catherine Powers, written by Joe and Paul, directed by Peter DeLuise. I did not spot a Peter cameo. Someone else spots the DeLuise. Please let me know.
I'm going to
He was behind the smoke.
I'm gonna try to like make my own conjecture.
Okay.
He is one of the press people.
Okay.
In the final scene.
Okay.
That's my uneducated guess.
I actually didn't see him. So, the one guest star we have is Peter Calamus, has a vengeful role in Universe. And I have never really watched it. I know. Well,
is that Barrett?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Just kidding.
And I've never watched Dragon Ball Z, but apparently he's one of the people that does the English dub of Goku.
What? I've never watched Dragon Ball Z either.
No.
Because of my brother.
Bartender Nick is a big Dragon Ball person. I have not seen it, but he has a ton of other voice work too. Like he's been in My Little Ponies and a whole bunch of other shit too.
I'm okay with ponies.
I know you are. I know you are. So previously on Stargate.
Previously on Stargate. Tell stories about what's previously on.
The whole conversation about how you can't take the NID down on your own, and Mayborn is an asshole, and Kinsey's an asshat, and him and Jack hate each other. Like they really hate each other.
I named him Senator Gross Dude.
Senator Gross Dude. Jack and him really hate each other.
Yeah.
Like super hate each other.
With the fire of 1,000 suns.
As I frequently say. So when we finally come to the episode where DC, Secret Service and Senator Gross Dude are working the crowd, and up in a hotel, a mysterious guy is putting together a sniper rifle. And as Kinsey's getting into his limo, he is shot. And insanity breaks out, as it would, when an assassination attempt takes place, and the assassin takes apart his rifle and quickly exits the building, and as he exits, we can see that it is Jack.
In some questionable cargo sweats?
Those didn't look like sweats to me.
They look like some weird-ass pants. They look like cargo sweats.
It's Jack.
I mean... Go with cargo sweats? I think my dad had a pair of cargo sweats.
Sadly, we do know that cargo sweats are a thing, and they shouldn't be. And credits.
But yeah, that part was like,
Well, you saw when you just saw the eye through the sniper eye, as you call it.
Yeah,
there's some major cliches in this episode. I know it's a scope. I'm just calling it the sniper eye.
It's the eye of the sniper. It's the thrill of the
shot.
I'm sorry.
We've been doing this for way too long. You can tell once you know it's Jack, you can tell that clearly it's Jack's eyeball. Yeah. And his eyebrow. It's the Jack eyebrow.
It's it's one of those where I'm like, need more.
Need more.
Need more. And no decisions yet. Also pants. Pants, need more. That's how my brain talks to me.
So, back at the SGC, I love how Jonas has a lava lamp in his office. We've seen it before, and it still makes me happy every time I see it.
Do you think he just stares at it sometimes?
To be fair, I had a lava lamp when I was in high school and in college, and sometimes I would just zone out at it.
Here's what I think. His mind moves so fast, and so I think you could relate. That there must be times where he just has to, like, shut down. So it's like the equivalent of restarting your computer. Yeah. Like he's like, I'm just gonna sit here and stare at this.
Listen, you have
wildly
seen me zone out at work before. Yeah. Where I'm literally just staring at like a point in the ceiling.
And then I'll be like, hey, I like had a whole conversation with you, but I don't think you heard me. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, because I'm still staring at the ceiling.
Got it.
So so it's him and Sam and Teal'c are watching the news, and there is a story about assassination of Senator Kinsey.
Which, can I tell you that I remember this font? Because it was right when this is going to tell you guys how old I am. I was a child. When I started working in news, this was the font that was everywhere. It's Bank Gothic.
It's Bank Gothic.
It is straight up Bank motherfucking Gothic.
There's still news channels that use Bank Gothic in their logos.
Let it go.
Please kill Bank Gothic.
Yeah. Let it die. It wants to die.
Let it go. Let it go.
Bank Gothic is like the mother Tok'ra. She's like, kill me.
Kill me now, please. I also like how they couldn't even make up a fake logo for the Mike flag. It's just a black Mike flag.
Yeah, it's like, we don't even care. We don't care that much. Yeah.
But anyway, apparently Kinsey was the likely choice for the VP spot on the next ticket because the Republican convention's coming up.
Yeah.
And as Jack walks in, he's like, "What'd I miss?" Sam's like,
You.
Kinsey was killed.
Yeah.
3 days ago.
Here's the thing: is I still don't know what the fuck to think because Jack's a good liar if he needed to be.
He's a very good liar.
So I'm just like, what the?
He's like, well, I didn't hear because I was on vacation.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Minnesota.
Fishing, where there's nobody
no fish
there but the fishes.
And there's no fish either.
Uh-huh.
So Hammond then walks in with a couple SFs, and they are here to arrest Jack for the murder of Kinsey. And Jack's like, I don't think so.
Yeah. I love the way that they look too. They're like, we're gonna arrest you.
It's like it's like a stormtrooper coming up to Chewbacca.
Yeah.
And like trying to put the hand.
Shit, I don't know how to arrest you, and I'm a little bit scared of you.
Jack's like, I was on vacation.
Like clearly Jack went willingly. Because they have no power.
Yeah, he did. Because Hammond is like, just for the moment, we're gonna have to cooperate.
Yeah. Yeah. So
in the briefing room, after Jack's been taken away, Hammond is well aware that Jack didn't do this. It's like
there's just no fucking
way. No fucking way. No one's buying it. And his hands are tied. And Davis is the liaison between the Pentagon and the district attorney.
Yes.
And he's like, well, we do have security footage.
So I'm trying to remember, have we liked Davis before? I never know where we stand with him.
I mean, Davis is genuinely a good guy.
Okay.
Like,
because I get a weird vibe. It's just because he works for another agency.
He works for another agency, and sometimes he's like, "Look, this is a really shit order, and I don't agree with it, but I'm gonna." Yeah, gotcha. But Davis is a good guy.
Got it.
Yeah. Just we like him.
Don't fall for Sam, Davis.
Don't fall for Sam. And he shows them the security footage from the stairwell. And they're like, there's a big case against him that they're building.
There's basically video evidence of him wearing OJ-style gloves. And he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sam's like, that doesn't prove anything. He goes, no, but it was enough for the FBI to get a warrant.
It's a crime that he wears those pants. Did we see the pants in the video? Those pants are a crime. Okay.
And they searched Jack's house and his cabin, and apparently a neighbor saw him dumping something in the lake that has no fish. And a diver found the case and the rifle that ballistics have matched to the bullet that shot Kinsey.
Yeah. Like, basically, they covered everything.
They did. Still no one on the team is buying any of this shit.
Yeah. Teal'c's eyebrow is not interested in anything that they're saying.
Super not interested.
Yeah.
And they cover some of the history of the bad blood between Kinsey and Jack for Jonas's sake, not catching the audience up on it, purely for Jonas's sake. And they go through all of this stuff and how like they've helped and stuff. And then Teal'c's
I really wish they would have just had Teal'c tell him previously
on SG1.
Yeah.
But Teal'c's like, and none of this can we divulge to the civilian authorities.
Right, because reasons.
So,
and aliens.
And they can't, Hammond's like, we can't move it to the military court either, where they could use that knowledge.
Right.
Because he was shot in broad daylight in front of dozens of witnesses, and it would be a political disaster for the administration to move it and try to cover something up. Plus, and Sam's like, yeah, well, Jack's done a ton of stuff for that current administration.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see where they're at, though. It's a PR fucking nightmare.
It's a PR
to not try him publicly.
And there's nothing the president can do for Jack, mostly because of PR. And Hammond's like, I'm not a politician, though, so
I do what I want.
And you people have the full resources of the SGC to figure this bullshit out.
He basically goes, your job is to save Jack.
Yep.
Yeah, the end.
And the next scene hurts my insides because we see Jack in federal prison.
Yeah.
And handcuffed and shackled and let in. It looks like military federal prison. I don't know if that's a thing, but it's just horrible to watch.
It's tough to see him in that situation. Yeah. But I also keep getting distracted. Like, okay, so I know that Teal'c has to cover up his little, Jeff
for some reason.
Yeah, like at this point, who gives a fuck?
No one gives a fuck.
You know what I mean? how did he get in there with a beanie? I don't think they let you wear hats or belts or wallets and so not that I know from personal experience about visiting people in prison.
Maybe if they checked the hat.
Yeah, I guess, or maybe he walked through the thing and it doesn't beep, so they're like, fuck it. But I feel like there's no way they would have let him in there with the hat.
My thing is, like, there is enough unusual body modification that happens in the world that no one's gonna, like, someone may go, hey, that's a cool tat, or, you know, where'd you get that done at, type thing.
Yeah, you just go, I got it in, like, you know, Asia somewhere. Yeah. It's a burn mark. I don't know.
You can even make up some South Pacific island. No one's gonna know the difference.
Make one up. I like it.
It's the island of Chulak. Like, no one's gonna know. That's you could really just say Chulak and no one's gonna question it.
When we're rich, we should buy an island and name it Chulak.
Totally gonna happen.
Or Abydos. Although Abydos is a place, right?
Yeah, that was a city. Yeah.
No, fuck it. We're gonna name it Chulak. We're just gonna name it Teal'c.
Just Teal'c, motherfucker. Where do you live? Teal'c?
In a pouch that he carries me in.
See, that got a little weird now.
No, I didn't. It was it's like a little what are the baby carriers? Like I just climb in there and then Teal'c carries me everywhere. That's where I live. When I'm famous, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have someone carry me places like a giant fucking baby. That didn't get weird at all.
Listen, we've gotten way weirder on this podcast before. That's like middle of the road weird.
Strange. Goals.
And he's like, I've been accused of a murder I didn't commit. How the hell do you think I'm doing right now?
Yeah. So awesome?
Awesome. Great. And they're like, look, we're going to be super honest with you. There's a lot of evidence against you right now.
Yeah, shit ain't going well.
He's like, I was fishing.
I love, though, that I think that they all just truly believe him this much. Nobody ever feels the need to straight up go, did you do it?
Yeah. Well, Teal'c believes him without an ounce of doubt. Jonas is like, I mean, you have been on secret missions before.
Yeah.
And Jack's like, no, I wasn't on a mission. I was in Minnesota on vacation, 20 miles from the closest town, alone. That was the point of it.
Yeah.
No alibis. Not even fishes.
Yeah. Yeah. I just love that. I think I would have.
Something, AKA, is something about how you can't have alibis in a fishless pond.
Fish cannot provide alibis.
Fish cannot be a material witness.
Yeah. Yes. AKA, fish aren't witnesses. Dumb it down for me.
Fish are food.
Fish are friends, not
alibis.
Done. I just keep thinking, as much as I love you and know you, I'd be like, okay, but straight up.
Yeah.
Did you do it?
Did you do it?
I mean, it's not going to change what I do for you.
Straight up, now tell me, is it going to be you?
Or did you kill what's his face?
So back in the briefing room, Sam has checked the tape. It has not been altered. So it either really was Jack or someone who looks completely exactly like him. And they've run across things that allow you to mimic people before, but all of those are under heavy guard.
Mimics! I keep thinking of that D&D meme with the treasure box where it's like, I laughed and the bard laughed and then the mimic laughed and then we all laughed and then we shot it. Anyway, something along those lines. Don't quote me.
And Hammond conveniently fills Jonas in on the foothold situation that happened 3 years ago. Because of the seriousness of the security breach, they erased all mention of the incident from official record.
I'm glad that he just tells them about it. A lesser show might have given us a clip.
Well, okay, can I say that I did read somewhere that there specifically did not put that part into the previously on.
Oh, so we can figure it out. Yeah.
You didn't figure it out before anything
which I love, because it is nice to see, not nice, but it's cool to sit there and go, did Jack kill him?
Yeah.
Did Jack fucking kill him? Like, to sit there and wonder that, because Jack could. If the right person's told him he needed to, he could.
Because we've also seen him be on that secret mission where not even SG-1, the rest of SG-1 knows
and that's what I mean. So it's like, it's been established that if shit came to that point, he can get the job done.
Yeah, exactly. Which is Which is why I love the duopoly that we had just in the previous scene where Teal'c's like, I know you didn't fucking do it.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'm sure Teal'c is also, and if you did it, you probably had a damn good reason to.
Yeah, doesn't matter. I'm still here because you probably, whatever you did for a good reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're innocent, but I'm also not going to be smirching if you actually did
if you told me that you needed help burying a hooker, I'm not going to ask you why she's dead.
Nope.
There's probably a perfectly legitimate
great reason for it.
Yes. We'll deal with that later.
Well, yeah, exactly. Let's just find a really good place to bury it.
Yeah.
So no one will find it. But Jonas never read about the mimic devices, and all of those devices are now in Area 51.
I feel like they should have ribbed Jonas a little more. It's like, really? You didn't read it?
What
were you doing with that?
Did you miss that part?
Yeah.
So when Sam heads there, she looks really snazzy by the way.
Oh my God! Can I tell you that I wrote "Love Sam's Stress Blues"? And we don't share notes beforehand, guys.
No, we don't.
But yeah.
Although I do notice always that when she dresses in her blue, she does specifically pick skirt and not pants.
Yeah. But it looks really fucking cool. Oh, my iPad just died.
Oh
no, to God! Grace is flying blind, and this is gonna be awesome.
I have a charger cord somewhere.
No, actually, the battery power is fine. It just decided to
restart. Okay. So, and she also has a little paracord bracelet here. I noticed.
Oh, I didn't notice
that. She has this in the next scene too. I didn't notice it if she's just in her early in the episode, but when she's in her blues, and I also didn't notice it when she later on is dressed in civvies. I just noticed it here. And then next scene,
when she, she's got to be tactical.
She does. She always has to be.
Maybe
prepared.
it's like because she's in heels and because she's in dress, she needs something to make her feel like if the shit hits the fan, I got this covered.
I got it covered.
Yeah.
So, anyways, they check the devices and they are all fake.
Yep. I love the way they get in here too, and I love the idea where I want to see this like Ocean's 11 style caper where people come in to steal the mimics because there's all these lasers and stuff and people to get past.
See, they didn't do any of that stuff. They just paid off a scientist to open it.
Which is shittier.
It's not nearly as fun.
Super not as fun.
No. But they filled Jack in before he shipped out to DC that someone duplicated the duplicators.
Whoa.
I know. And they could have basically
Who duplicates the duplicators? Who watches the what? Okay, I'm done.
And they could have swapped them anytime in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
So
I love that we don't check these things regularly.
No, they don't. Well, they're all locked up, and there's only 8 people who can access them.
That's true.
I mean, they're in the most secure location they could be in, unless you pay someone off. Money will get you everywhere in life.
Money.
And so they still have the issue that they can't use the alien technology defense in court because it's all super highly classified.
Because alien technology is not a legitimate court in a legitimate excuse in a public court of law.
Nope. But they can use it to try to find the real assassin outside of court.
Dun, dun, dun.
So back in Jonas's office, Sam and Teal'c go over with Jonas how the duplicators work. And in case the audience has forgotten, you can scan a person and then you can impersonate them. Simple. And the scanning device wasn't taken with the duplicating devices. They can only impersonate 12 people, including Jack, Janet, and Daniel.
Nice little loophole. I'm glad that they mentioned that because I'd forgotten about that. I was like, what if everyone's a fake?
Yeah.
My brain hurts.
And Teal'c and Jonas are going to scan the personnel files of those who had access to the mimics. And Sam's going to head to Washington to look up an old acquaintance.
Dun, 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 dun.
I was also looking at Sam's medals here. Since we don't get to see her ribbons often.
Okay.
And I compared it with a wiki, and it looks like there's an Organizational Excellence Award, some sort of National Defense Service Medal, and I think the Airman's Medal, but the middle looks a little different on the video, and I don't know if that was just low quality, but it would make sense since that award is for a heroic act, usually at the voluntary risk of his or her life that is not involving actual combat. So basically. Every
trying
episode.
to use a sun to
every episode
trying to harness the sun
of the show. Well, I'll say every other because you either have in combat or out of combat. So.
And sometimes other players do get to save the world. I mean, Sam's really good at sharing. the glory. She's not, but sometimes it's not her choice. But yeah.
And so that person that she's going to go see is Agent Barrett, who we last saw in Wormhole Extreme.
So, we did.
That's how we know is an old acquaintance.
So there's something about his face, and I think as I warm up to him, it goes away.
Yeah.
But when I first see him in this, like the first scene we see him in, he's got a punchable 80s villain face. Like, it's very James Spadery. Is that, or you know what I mean? Or like, he was definitely in Cobra Kai.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There's a look to his face where I'm like, I just want to punch your face. Just like a quick little jab.
Just one little tiny punch.
Yeah, just a little jab.
But he's one of the actual good guys at the NID.
It's true, and I think that warms me up to him, and I don't want to punch him so hard.
Yeah, and it's nice to remember that the NID is not all horrible.
Yes,
like the NID is actually a good. Like there is.
It's like, imagine if the Stargate had a couple of bad eggs. That's basically what we.
That's what it is, because the NID is just like the CIA, the FBI, all these things. It's just it's the National Intelligence Department. The whole thing's not corrupt. It's just there's some corrupt apples in there.
Yeah.
And then
that's one bad apple.
One bad. There's old worms. Don't eat that apple. So Tonas.
Yes.
They search
Tonas the Great. Like Tonas the Wise. No. Tonas the
Alien.
Exuberant. Yeah. Tonas the Foreign. I don't know. I'm done. I'm gonna stop.
The Earthens. So they've came up with 8 people who would have been authorized to access the Mimic device, and they've been pretty much all transferred over to the X-303 project, except for one, Dr. Brent Langham, who was killed in a car accident 3 weeks ago.
Conveniently.
Yeah, super conveniently, guys. Yeah. Meanwhile, Barrett, back at the NID, is not fond of the fact that Sam thinks the NID has had a hand in assassinating U.S. Senator. And Sam points out that very few organizations have the resources to pull this off.
Yeah. You are among them.
As is the SGC, Barrett points out. And the man accused of the crime happens to work for yours.
Yeah, we're not going to think about all
which
those
causes
facts.
Sam to basically turn into anger from inside out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like,
she's just a little red man.
Boiling inside.
She's just a little red man with a mustache,
And she's like, well, we don't engage in criminal activity, and I can't say the same for the NID. And Barrett reminds her that the Prometheus incident was a few rogue agents, and the business in Oregon was an official operation. And it would have succeeded.
But here's the thing. I don't know that it's fair to say that SG-1 doesn't engage in criminal activity. If they needed to, they could have blurred the lines a little bit. A little bit.
It happens off-world, so technically...
So it doesn't matter.
It's like another zip code.
Yeah, it's like another area codes. Got it. Done.
And the Oregon incident would have succeeded if it wasn't for you meddling kids. As he pulls off his mask to reveal that he's an old man, crouchy pants. And Barrett is going off on Jack and how he's guilty and blah blah blah, as he's also writing silently on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And he shows it to her and sternly dismisses her.
Yeah. I wanted it to say, do you like me? Check yes or no. But that's
Will you go to prom with me? It actually says Stanton Park, 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And Carter does have time to change into her civvies before 3 p.m.
I love her look too. It's like very like Newport News catalog.
Soccer mom.
Yeah, it's very like the least noticeable clothing in the whole world.
It's super DC.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like she picked her clothing to blend in with her location.
It's like you could not be less remarkable if you tried. Yeah. But damn, it looks comfortable.
It looks super comfortable. So she meets Barrett at the park, and I've actually been to that park before. Cherry blossoms. Go there. Then again, just don't go to DC and go to DC while the cherry blossoms are in bloom, but beware that you're going to be miserable because of the crowd of people that's around.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
It gets really crowded, but it's also one of the most beautiful things ever. So it's a double-edged sword.
Got it.
But it's at the intersection of Massachusetts and Maryland. So they cross, but the park is like a square, and so the roads come through the corners.
Okay.
If that makes sense?
Yeah.
So those roads are actually, if you're looking at it like on a map in cardinal directions. The roads from across, and in the center, instead of them making a little intersection, there's a square park.
Okay.
At the center
as opposed to having a roundabout.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's a square park. And it was named for Lincoln's War Secretary, Edwin Stanton. Oh. And there's a statue of General Nathaniel Greene of the Revolutionary War there.
You've said a lot of names that I do not know. American history.
And it's easy walkable from the Capitol and from SCOTUS. It's like east-northeast of there. But it's only a couple blocks. I've never been to DC. DC is beautiful. Never drive in the city.
Now I feel like
there's a really
now I want to.
It is one of the best subway systems you can find.
Yeah.
It's simple. It is effective. Do not drive.
There's some kind of shitty joy that I get out of I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna drive in New York City.
I drove in DC once, and I went, that's the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life.
Oh, I'm sure it's not smart, but there's this really stupid thing in my nature that wants to prove that I can.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can.
And then I won't ever need to.
And you'll never need to again.
It's, you know what it is? It's growing up, and I don't think San Francisco is as bad as some of these other places. Yeah. But it's growing up and like learning to drive in San Francisco. I was like, no fucks. No fucks. I'm going now. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great, DC is absolutely beautiful. Just don't go in the summer because it gets really hot and it's not a place that's known for its shade.
Yeah. But that's fair. If I'm spending all my time inside museums though.
The museums are goddamn awesome. Good the museums are like, the National Mall is like super awesome to look at all the memorials and everything. It's a great place.
I'm feeling a trip up the coast.
Smithsonian, and they're all free.
And then I'm gonna find a map on the back of a thing.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna have to do a scavenger hunt.
And there's little glasses
through the Smithsonian. But then I'm also gonna be trapped in it.
Okay.
And then things are gonna come to life while I'm there.
Yes.
But then I'm also gonna find a mannequin.
That's
only when I'm combining every movie.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, if things are going to come alive, I would say don't be trapped in the American History Museum, because if all of the First Lady's clothes mannequins come alive, that'd be really creepy.
That would be really fun.
Because they're just like...
It'd be like that episode of Doctor Who where the mannequins come to life?
Yeah, but they're all headless, and it's just weird.
But what if they're my friends and they're there to help me?
They're still headless, and it's going to be really
Guys,
weird.
welcome to my brain.
Also, the former First Ladies were really tiny. They're like super short.
Oh yeah, everybody was tiny. So one time I went inside the Winchester Mystery House, and it was Sarah Winchester, heir of like the Winchester fortune, who was batshit.
I only think of Supernatural.
Okay, that's fair. But she went batshit crazy and built a house so that the ghost couldn't get her. Like these winding staircases that led to nowhere, and doors that opened to the outside of the house, and like rooms that you could not access.
Oh wow!
And like places where this was the seance room and this was this room, and all her stuff is like preserved and left where it was. And there's like this tiny little bed.
Oh geez!
This tiny creepy little bed that she lived in.
Oh Jesus!
And it was like she was apparently this tiny little lady. I think they're making a movie of her now.
Oh really?
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, so there is. When I was in college,
but it's super cool. Go check it out.
There was
in San Jose, California,
an abandoned orphanage that was basically condemned that you weren't supposed to go to, but of course it was like freshman rite of passage was to go to this creepy. I've never been more creeped out in my entire life. And the creepiest part was everything is falling apart. Everything's flaking off. It's been abandoned for decades.
Oh my God.
Been, like,
Helen Mirren plays Sarah Winchester.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's called Winchester.
Okay.
And it comes out this year.
Okay. We'll see that.
Yes.
But everything's falling apart. There's been many children who died in this orphanage because it was going on for so long. And there was a couple rooms. There's a couple rooms that you went, I do not believe in ghosts. There's a couple rooms that you went into, and every hair on the back of your head stood up, and you're like, get the fuck out of the room, get the fuck out of the room, get the fuck out of the room. And one of the rooms, everything's falling apart. One of the rooms had a mini room inside the room. Looked like a mini house inside. I mean, everything in there, none of the paint was peeling off or anything.
Nope.
Yeah, and then we left.
Yep.
We left real quick.
I do very much.
I was in. I
talk to them sometimes.
I was in when I was in Edinburgh, and I went into the catacombs, and we funneled into. It was a room. It was like a. It was a stone room.
Yeah.
And I know these are like the random ghost tours that they send everyone out.
Sure,
like, we just went on it for fun, blah, blah, blah. We're in a stone room. It's dark. I'm in the back corner, not near the door.
Yeah.
It's a stone room. There's no like vents or anything. There's only one way in and one way out. And I'm standing in the back corner and my skirt started blowing against my legs.
Whoa. Yeah.
So
there's one thing out here that I want to do that's nearby us. But I need the courage to do it. It's go up to Casadega, which is like the spiritual camp.
Oh, yeah.
Which to me feels like there's got to be some weird fucking creepy energy, but I don't. I want to do it and I don't want to do it all at once. I'm scared. Okay.
So anyway, Barrett is reading a newspaper article on global warming and the killing off of the coral reefs, which is, totes true. Thank you, writers. And he's like, they spend all their time trying to protect the world from the Gould when we should be trying a little more about protecting it from ourselves. And I was like, you go, writers.
Yeah.
But throughout here, since his office is bugged because the NID record all conversations that happen in the building.
Yep.
And no one knows this, but we talk about The Bachelor a lot. That's why it feels like, we talk about Dancing with the Stars all the time.
That's all we do is just like, what are the Kardashians up to now?
Exactly.
But yeah, he's like, also, I didn't want to get it on record in case I ask you out and you completely say no. And then I feel like a douchebag.
And just have to repeat it and repeat it on a loop while eating ice cream.
Yeah. But
he's like, there's a cancer at the NID. It's a shadow organization that operates outside the law. And the Prometheus thing was the last straw for Barrett. And after that, he was called to the White House for an assignment, and Kinsey was actually working for Barrett. He was about to hand over all the information needed to take the entire shadow organization, which we later find out is called the Committee, down. Very unimaginative name. And Barrett basically blackmailed Kinsey into helping him. He knows a few of the skeletons in Kinsey's closet, and it was an election year. So basically, he'll do anything.
Got any more of them non-blackmail things?
And it's like both Kinsey will do anything to not have the information gets out, and Barrett will do anything in order to take down the committee. And so now the only people who know about this are the president, a few of his staff, and Sam. Because the corruption is so wide that Barrett has to work alone.
Yeah. That's a big thing to have on your shoulders. Yeah. It's a good guy, that Barrett.
And he's worried that not even the SGC is
He's looking less punchable right now.
So he's like, how are you so sure that Jack is innocent? Because the evidence is quite damning.
Because reasons.
Sam's like, because I love him. No, because when you work with someone for that long, you just know.
Yeah.
And Barrett's job, he has to be suspicious of everyone and everything. And at the SGC, they trust everyone and everything with their lives. So back in the briefing room, Jonas catches Hammond up on what Teal'c and him have discovered. Originally, the aliens who brought the mimic devices could hold their illusions for indefinitely. But conveniently later, for plot lines to reasons, Area 51 people were having problems doing that, could only hold it for 3 to 4 minutes.
Well, it's the idea that you get a toy with no instructions, eventually you start to kill it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And since they can't use them in the field for 3 or 4 minutes, they scaled back the project, and eventually everyone is reassignaed to the X-3.
It's kind of like how the Doctor never drove the TARDIS properly.
Yeah.
And how smoothly it ran when River had it. She's like, well, you just didn't know how to use it.
Also because it's River.
Yeah, well, that too.
Guys, we love River. And except for Dr. Langham, who conveniently died in a car crash 2 days before the project was shut down. Also conveniently, his body was burnt so badly they had used dental records.
All these convenient happenings that happened.
But you can't beat the toxicology reports because that came back clean, which would be fine and normal, except for Janet points out that he was epileptic. Epileptic. And he took regular anticonvulsant drugs.
It was an EpiPen.
And
nope, not the right one.
And those would have been in the system when he died. So the fact that there weren't any is the red alarm. So either he took the mimic devices and disappeared, or someone set him up to do it. Either way, he didn't have the training to shoot Kinsey, and they just have to find him. And Ham's
also, can I say how much I love having Janet back?
I know.
It's just so nice to be like, actually, here's logical reasons because of reasons, Janet. And then reasons of things that I know. And nothing that she ever tells us feels like a stretch for her. It's just like, this is just all sense making that I'm doing.
damn it, I love Janet
She
so
just,
badly.
yeah, she brings something to the team that no one else can bring. She just understands the human
She's
body
just
and like
awesome.
Like I would love to see. You know who I would love to see Janet with? Dr. House.
Oh my god, they would kill each other.
They would kill each other, but every episode will be solved in 5 minutes.
Yeah, and like watching them just snark at each other so badly would be so much fun.
Like she's like gives Cuddy a run for her money.
Oh yeah, she does.
She'd be like, "Now let me tell you what you're wrong, and these are the things that are actually right, and I know what I'm talking about way more than you do." And get off the fucking Vicodin, and then she would kick his cane out from under.
Yeah. Oh my god, it would be so good.
Yeah.
Done. And Hammond basically is like, I don't care what it takes, do it. To get Dr. Lanham. Called
Joust. I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you.
So meanwhile, Sam and Barrett visit like a blacklist weapons dealer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I love the dude that gets Leo, right? Leo gets the door. It's like, I love your shirt. It's very appropriate for like, I'm a creepy douchey smart guy.
In the early 2000s. And Barrett allows these people to operate in exchange for information, which Sam is clearly uncomfortable with.
I love how close to the freeway they are too. Yeah, it's like they're like right off the exit.
Like I know,
next to the Pilot gas station.
Guys, I've been to a ton of illegal black market weapons operations in my life, and none of them look like this.
I just like how easily accessible they are from the main road.
Everything. And the guy who runs it is the most, like, sketchy, cliche, over the top.
Yeah.
Like, everything about this feels no.
Yeah, it's real creepy. But who knows? I mean, clearly, I have no fucking idea. Maybe they are. It's hiding in plain sight all the time.
Who knows? But yeah, the Creep Dude did sell a 700 with a customized breakdown stock last week. And after looking at a photo, confirms that it was bought by the guy looking like Jack. Then Sam's like,
well, yeah, because the guy would be smart enough at least to do that.
Exactly.
If he didn't, then he's an idiot.
And he's like, hey, can I buy that other weapon off you, Mr. Black Market Weapons guy? Because fake Jack handled it without gloves. Flaw in this plan, though, because they're like, oh, therefore only Leo and not Jack have handled it. Except, how about all the people before last week?
Who,
like, I doubt they're wiping that thing down
if they let people handle them when they come in, then everyone's fucking touched it.
Exactly. Yeah. So, flaw in that part of the plan. But
now, let me tell you how dumb I am. I did not understand what Sam was doing when she's like, did he handle any other weapons? I was like, oh, maybe she's going to see if it was like a Jack-specific type of weapon. And then be like, oh, Jack would never handle that. No, that's not at all what she's doing, Grace. She's far smarter than you are.
So back at the hotel room, they are checking prints lifted from the gun. There's one full set that's Leo's and one partial set that doesn't match Jack. So the other clearly have to belong to the shooter, and they have no other leads right now.
Yeah.
So Sam wants to run those prints through the NID database, which Barrett does not really like, but he does anyway. And gives her credit for checking the second weapon.
Well, yeah.
Because Sam's smart. And in Jonas's office, Janet is helping him with research and finding Dr. Lanham, and they can change all the information they want, but they're not going to be able to change the fact that he has a medical condition.
Yeah.
So she's like, we can cross-reference the combo of drugs and the National Pharmaceutical Database and cross-reference and blah, 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 and narrow down that field.
So let me tell you, that made me realize how screwed I would be if I ever try to go into like the witness protection program. You would find me in 30 seconds flat. And let's type, oh, there she is. The one person
who has that combination of events.
That exact combination of shit going down. Thank you, world. They'd be like, we'll just narrow it down, but there's 10 people, and then there it is. There's a whole episode right there.
Well, she's going by the name Yolanda now.
Mrs.
Previous names have been Saffron and Bridget. Well, I think she's a fan of a show called Firefly.
That's the thing. There are a couple of Rorys and Loreleis in there just for funsies.
It'd
be Rory Quinn.
There you go, Rory Quinn. Done. So they narrow it down so much that there's basically only one, I guess. And
yes,
they fill Sam in because there's a great thing where there's like 2 separate missions in the storyline. So Hammond gets to keeping the go-between.
I wish they would do like split screens of them on the phone and then like split back. Like start
Very
with 24
one style.
Start with and then split it into half and then go to wipe it off. Yeah.
So Hammond's like, "Are you sure you can trust this, Barrett?" And she's like, "Pretty sure I can be sure."
Then I'm sure that I can.
Hammond's like, "You just remember that technically I wasn't even supposed to tell Jonas about the foothold incident, so don't tell him.
Mm-hmm. Don't tell him things."
And when she hangs up, Barrett gets into the car, and she was right. The prints match an NID agent, Mark Devlin. And we see a picture, and he looks like one of the ones from one of the boy bands back then.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you which one it is or which band he's in, but he looks like one of them.
It's the one that she ends up changing into, right?
Yes.
So it's Kevin from the Backstreet Boys.
Thank you. I knew it was one of them.
Yeah.
I knew it was someone.
He looks like Kevin from the Backstreet Boys.
I don't.
But that's because Kevin from the Backstreet Boys always looked 15 years too old to be in a boy band. It's like, what are you doing here, Grandpa?
It was something with the jawline and that specific beard style.
It was the specific facial hair that was like, nah.
Yeah, don't do that.
And I don't even know that he actually was a lot older. It's just the face.
It's appearance-wise, yeah.
Don't be here.
So meanwhile, Tonas are out trying to find Dr. Lanham from the one person that was narrowed down from Janet's search list. Mm-hmm. And Jonas asked Teal'c how he learned how to drive. Daniel taught him. He believes the year was 1969.
Oh, I almost missed this the second time around. So the first time around, I was so focused on the bike rider. I was like, what's with that shot? Like, this is the shot where we come in and you just see this woman's butt coming out of the scene. And I'm like, that was oddly timed. That was a weirdly timed shot.
Yeah.
Like, somebody needed to be like, hey, hold for like 3 beats. Anyway.
But yeah, it taught him in 1969. So they knock on the door, and a guy who doesn't look like Lanham.
Before you get to the door, I cannot get over this.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe it's where they are. I'm not actually sure where they're supposed to be.
They're in like a hood, just a neighborhood.
Random, anywhere town USA, right?
Uh-huh.
The tallest fucking crawl spaces. I've never seen houses like that. I've never seen houses where you walk up a flight of stairs to get to the front door.
You do in coastal areas.
I've lived in coastal areas.
Okay, well, you see them frequently on like the and I don't know, somewhere they must have them in Vancouver too, but I see them a lot on the Boundary Islands on the East Coast.
Okay.
In places where it like frequently floods.
Well, I mean, I've seen the houses on stilts. Yeah. But it looked like it was a completely finished like base. We've actually like rented house and stuff and seen before where you have to walk up an entire flight of stairs because all downstairs is like a pool deck area. Okay. And like they store things there. You can park right underneath the house. I've never fucking seen that. In my life. It is the weirdest thing. Okay. Yeah. And I can't get over it a a bit.
Yeah. It's kind. They look crazy, but yeah, you have to go up an entire flight of stairs to get to the front door.
Yeah. The only thing I know of that exists that way is crawl spaces. Yeah. And I'm like, that's not a crawl space. That's like a stand space.
Yes. Yeah. They raise them in areas where they typically get a ton of flooding, but you can basically like the ones that I've been at, you basically can the park.
Yeah. I'm gonna blame it on growing up in earthquake country because we don't even have like basements.
Yeah.
You don't do basements.
And it's still weird for me to live at a place where there's no basements.
No basements. Attics, yes.
So anyway, they knock on the door. The guy does not look like Lanham, answers the door, but as they're leaving, he looked really familiar to Jonas.
Yes.
Super familiar. When Jonas first came to the SGC, he was one of the airmen in the gate room. Jonas is positive because he has a perfect memory. So both of them run back up to the door
and knock. He's got that Mary Lou Henner memory.
And Teal tries to open it, but it won't budge, and it's locked. So they go to run around back. Well, Jonas runs around back, and Teal just disappears. And the mystery dude runs out the back and jumps the fence, and Jonas jumps the fence too, and they're running
chase,
running down the alleyway, and then just a giant solid arm sticks out from around the bed. He's clotheslined so hard he's knocked out, and it's just beautiful.
So this made me want a wrestling episode of Stargate. I don't know how they work it into the story. I'm not a writer. But I want Teal'c in a ring, like luchador style wrestling.
Well, can I tell you that Voyager found a way to have people stuck on, it was basically a Planet Hulk situation. And that's one of The Rock's first TV appearances.
Yes!
Acting jobs was as a random alien wrestler, and they had basically that.
I want Teal'c to have to wrestle.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Preferably in brightly colored leotards. Just because it'd be fun as fuck.
I wanted to have like the mask, but it still has his
emblem. Yeah.
In the same location.
Yeah. Yes. Dear God, yes. I like it.
Oh, future pod card, the entire cast.
Just his face. Oh my God, I want to color that so bad right now.
I feel like Jonas would have the Bowie lightning.
The flash. Flash of lightning.
Yeah, on his mask. Anyway, so he's knocked out, and they quickly find the mimic device, and it is Dr. Langham, and we get a Teal'c indeed.
Yes, a really good indeed.
Good indeed. Also, how did they not study and look for the 12 people that they could be mimicked before they went out to immediately recognize that that's one of the 12 people that could be mimicked?
Right. You would think that you'd go over the list and like just.
It's not like it's a list of 100 people.
It's literally what, 12?
It's 12, and then Jonas would be able to memorize them all.
You'd be like, okay, got it, we're done.
Gotcha,
done.
That
was a real dumb thing that they did. You're absolutely right.
And you still could have had the same, because instead Jonas immediately recognized him at the door. You can have the exact same chase scene.
Yeah. He's like, I know this man. Get him. Yeah.
So anyway, they go back to the SGC and they stick him in a holding cell. And he hasn't said anything, but he is asking for a lawyer, which could be a major issue because, as Hammond points out, they are not following procedure. And they are
even a little bit.
Way outside the jurisdiction. And I love Hammond's like, what is this part about him being injured when you brought him in?
He's like, oh, he tripped.
And Teal'c's like, he required some convincing.
Good job. Yeah. I feel like Jack would be so proud of that.
And Jack would be so proud. And Teal'c is certain he will volunteer information. Which brings us to the best scene of the entire episode.
Oh, you mean the opening to the Dangerous Minds video?
It's the greatest thing ever.
Where I'm expecting Michelle Pfeiffer on one side and Coolio on the other.
It makes me so happy. It's just a shadow in the window.
Yeah.
And Teal'c opens the door for a moment, clenching and unclenching his jaws.
Yeah. It's the, what is it? What was it? Gangster's Paradise was the name of the video. That's what this scene is.
And then he just sits down and stares at him.
Yeah. Best interrogation ever.
In silence. And stares. And then Langham is like, whatever let me just vomit up information for you.
The silence alone, I'd be like, I can't sit in this silence. What do you want from me? Whatever you want. Here's what I think I would have to lean on if I were in an interrogation situation. It's not that they couldn't get me to talk. It's that they couldn't get me to shut up.
Probably, yeah.
So then what you do is then you work that to your favor and then you just fucking talk nonsense. Basically, you Kaiser Soze that shit.
Would you like to know the entire history of a TV show called Stargate SG-1 and every single plot hole that they've had and plot line that they've had through 10 seasons? And I can continue on to Atlantis.
I think I would just make up shit to make I would Kaiser Soze it. Where it's like, oh, let me tell you everything I know. Here's all the things that I know, but then I'm just making up stories as I go.
Oh yeah, no, I would just go randomly. Let me tell you about Stargate.
All about how my
life got flipped and upside down. I can take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became a member of a team called SG-1. Okay. So Sam and Barrett arrive at Devlin's house, and he sees them from the inside window. And Sam shows off her lock-picking skills again.
Because she's Sam.
But Barrett gets impatient, just kicks the door down. They quickly leave the house again when they see a timer and a shit ton of gasoline.
Yeah.
And then Barrett lands on, after the explosion, Barrett lands on top of Sam.
Yeah, sure.
Because Sam lands on her back.
I feel like it should have been after the explosion. He actually landed next to her. And then he goes and crawls on top of her.
He's like...
It would have been way funnier that
I'm
way.
Covering you. And Sam's like... Thank you. Get the fuck off of me.
Please never touch me unless I ask you to. I've got this.
So back at the SGC, Langham is talking to Jonas, Teal'c, and Hammond. The Shadow organization calls themselves the Committee. And he's basically like, I was going to buy any story they told me because of money. And they're buying alien tech as it comes out of Area 51 because all the committee are businessmen. So they're incorporating the alien technology into their product lines, expecting huge profits from it.
All about the money.
All about the money. It's just consumerism.
Fuck.
So Hammond wants names, and he's like, "Well, you can't share my safety." And Hammond's like, "Well, yeah, but if these people are as powerful as you say they are, there's no place on Earth that they'll be able to be safe."
This is a great line.
Thankfully, the SGC has other options.
Yeah. We'll just put you to space.
Well, yes.
I know. But I like my version of it. We're just going to kick you off into the air.
Loose in space. And after the...
Did you know that Stormy is an astronaut? We recently
found
out...
Puppy Space Camp?
We recently found out that he really enjoys wearing his cone. And I think he's decided it's an astronaut cone.
That's how you launch into space.
Yeah. All done.
We need Puppy Space Camp.
Well, he's preparing for the whole bubble helmet, so we're working up to it.
Yeah.
Loves being inside it. Weirdest dog ever. Done.
We have a combination of weird dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
So after the explosion, back at Sam's hotel room, Barrett wants to know, like, who else at the SGC knows about this operation, because clearly there's a leak. And Sam's like, there's options besides leak. They can track your ass on the computer.
Yeah.
And Hammond calls, and Barrett's being super paranoid, going, "Don't pick up the phone."
Yeah.
Sam's like, "It's fucking Hammond. Like, if you trust me, you're going to trust the team." And Hammond fills her in on the other half of the episode. And she tells Barrett that they have the names for those responsible for the assassination. It's an inside source. I can't tell you anything about it. And Barrett's like, "That's bullshit. I'm on assignment from the White House."
Yeah.
And, like, you're the one who's just going on about trust.
Yeah. You turn the tables, use your own words against you.
So she makes a judgment call.
What you gonna do?
She's going to make a judgment call and tell him about the mimic devices. And that's how they got the duplicate Jack. And then Barrett drops his own secret bomb that Kenzie's not dead.
Whoa.
Yeah. He's in a coma. And none of that was released for his own protection. So they both have their secrets. That's how the game is played. And there's and Barrett's like, yeah, the Pentagon just found out that he's alive, so they're sending a guy over to the hospital.
Interesting.
Some liaison officer.
Oh, it seems like totally normal thing.
Sam's like, "Is it Davis?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah." She's like, "That's a really shitty idea because he's one of the 12 people who can be duplicated."
Yeah. Super not normal thing.
Cut to Devlin heading to the hospital and putting on the Davis mimic device in the elevator.
I like that his name is Devil in. That's how I remember he's a bad guy.
And he heads into Kenzie's room to check on him, and while he's there, he pulls his gun and puts on the silencer.
That's a totally normal thing to do while you're walking around the he
waits till he's in the room alone. He doesn't do it in the hallway.
Like, the fact that he has it on him, even though it's a military, like, wouldn't they take all their shit away?
Also, this is like this is county, looks like county general or something.
Yeah. Like,
this dude would be in such high security.
There's just too many options in this episode where there's just like security's just fucking up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, and then in some dark Doctor Strangelove war room, overly dramatic mood lighting.
Yeah, the weird control room.
Yeah. Like, if this wanted to be realistic, this would be in the most corporate of corporate
generic
meeting
office.
rooms.
Yeah, the most beige office you've ever seen.
I can see a wall of windows.
Yeah. Very beige or very gray.
So anyway, he's like, Devlin's like, Kenzie's dead now because he wasn't wearing a bulletproof vest this time. And we have a flashback to Kenzie's hospital room, and before he can shoot, the fire alarm goes off, and people rush in to move Kenzie, and then fake Davis just punches out 2 SFs.
Because badass.
And in the war room, douchebag is like, well, one of the committees. Just calling him douchebag.
One of the douchebag committee people.
It is the douchebag committee. And he's like, well, we don't care about secondary casualties. We'll blame those on Davis too.
Yeah.
Also, we don't care about Langham. Also, let's use the mimic devices to eliminate another thorn in our side, General Hammond.
That's when I got mad.
Yeah.
Like, not that I was a super happy place with these people to begin with, but it's like, no.
Because with him gone, they can replace him with someone more sympathetic to their concerns.
Interesting.
They tried that already once.
Yeah.
But they didn't have someone, the guy they tried to put in didn't work out too well.
Yeah, you can't over Hammond to Hammond.
So we flash back again, and they send Kinsey to the basement.
You can't handle the ham! I'm done.
Davis goes into the stairs.
Hamilton. I'm not drunk, I promise.
Alexander Hamilton. We can't make an Alexander Hamilton joke every single episode. We can. Back in the war room, they talk more about replacing Hammond and, having him think seriously about his retirement plans. I'm back in the flashback.
I will say, I'm going to give myself credit for this one.
Okay.
You were my witness.
You are. She did guess this.
As soon as they say it will be very convincing to Hammond, dude makes a face that I'm like, that's a Sam face. Now, the reason I want to give credit for it is because it's also credit to this actor.
Yeah.
Who made a Sam face.
He made a Sam face.
Because I was like, that is a Sam face. That's Sam. It's Sam. It's Sam. It's Sam. It's Sam.
She did guess it was Sam.
Boom.
It was. And in the flashback, he heads into some random locker room. I don't know why.
You get real sweaty after shooting people. I don't know.
But he hasn't shot anyone. He's trying to find
true.
Kinsey, and he's zatted by Sam, and she takes the mimic device. But it's just in random locker room.
Yeah, just
weirdly enough.
Reasons.
Listen, you have to work with the sets that you're given.
Reasons.
So back in the war room, they ask Devlin to visit Hammond and threaten his family again if he doesn't play ball. And I'm like, fucking just kill him.
Yeah.
And that's what they say. If they doesn't play ball, kill him. And I was like, no, kill you? Kill douchebag?
Yeah.
I'm down with that. Now. And then the Devlin illusion flickers. Yeah. And Sam tells them that Hammond sends his regards.
The most badass line. I wanted her to pull out a fucking machine gun.
Or just 2 middle fingers.
Yeah. I just light the room on fire.
Yeah.
Something because she's just like, General Hammond sends his regards. Poof! You know what I mean? And just blow the place up.
Say hello to my little friend.
Basically, yeah. Basically.
And the doors break open and Barrett and guards come in and arrest everyone.
Yes.
And they're like, hey, new record on the hologram time, 6.5 minutes.
Super awesome stuff.
And Barrett reminds her that she took a great risk. And then listens to this next line a few times, and I read it in the captions, and it still doesn't make sense. He's like, what makes you think I was going to come in here before you got them to incriminate themselves? And I was like, don't you mean what makes you think you weren't going to come in here before they incriminated?
Let me see. Did you write it down?
Yeah.
What makes you think I was going to make it? Oh.
I think it was doesn't and just no one caught.
Nobody cares.
No one caught it.
We all understood what he meant.
Yeah.
So fuck it. It's done.
And Sam just shrugs and is like, well, when you work with someone, you just know.
You just trust him. And then he turns into the face he makes is very adorable. He turns into bashful from the Seven Dwarfs and looks at Sam like she's Snow White and she just gave him a kiss on the forehead.
Don't fall for Sam.
Don't fall
There's
for
only
Sam.
one person who can fall for Sam and not die.
Yeah, there's only one person whose constitution and strength is high enough to not die.
Who can
under the spell of Sam.
Roll a high enough saving die.
Yeah, the Sam spell, if you will.
Yeah. So when we head back to Kinsey's hospital room, he's up and he's getting dressed, and Jack comes in free and in his dress blues and looking very good.
Yep.
And Kinsey wanted to have a chat before they meet the press. And Jack needs this as much as Kinsey does, Kinsey says. Because the only way Jack will get vindication is if the two of them appear on the 6 p.m. news, shaking hands. And Jack's like, I don't know if I need it that badly.
I don't want to be here right now, basically. Yeah.
But Kinsey reminds them that the American people don't want their Air Force officers to be assassins. They want them to be heroes, and Kinsey will make him
I'm
a
okay
hero.
with them being assassins as long as they're assassinating the right people.
Well, I'm also like, you're going to make him a hero? Jack isn't fucking the biggest
Jack's
hero.
already a fucking hero.
Yeah, 1,000,000 times over.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Kinsey.
Yeah. Basically.
And I just want to vomit along with Jack here. So
just
outside,
the barf emoji over and over and over.
Yeah. And so outside, Kinsey does his press conference apologizing for the deception of him being dead.
Blah, blah, blah.
Final
blah,
steps
blah.
is an investigation of an anti-democratic forces and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then he thinks Colonel O'Neill for his role that he played in the investigation. He can't say more because of national security. And as people start asking questions of the whole press and, it's snapping pictures and everything, he shakes Jack's hand and Kinsey leans over and blocks the mic and tells Jack to smile. He just won Kinsey the election.
Gross.
And Jack's like, I can't decide if I want to stab you here or vomit on you.
This is where I would have just like spit on his neck. Because no one can see it.
Yeah, no.
No one can see it.
It's just
like a nice little...
And Jack, you can just see
or sneeze at him because that even you can't get in trouble for.
Yeah.
Oh, how awesome would that have been?
And Jack has this weird look of pissed and sick and pissed on his face, and we fade out.
The end.
Yeah.
I mean, yay, Jack's free. This was a fun episode.
And the committee's done.
That means Kinsey's around.
Kinsey's around, but
Kinsey is trouble.
The NID is back to being good guys.
Thank goodness. For now, I mean, who knows? Everything is not all these set in stone.
Not everything is awesome.
Shit. Yeah. This was a fun episode. I had a lot of fun with this one.
Yeah, it's a fun little.
Yeah.
It's like the spy film.
I mean, and you get a nice little Tonas.
You get a Tonas.
Action.
You get some Janet.
You get some Janet in there. You get a lot of Sam, which is always good. But
the Earth-based ones are always fun too.
Yeah. It's nice when the bad guys are us.
Yeah.
Because it makes you think differently about it. The writers went on that little bit of that tangent of keep us safe from ourselves.
Keep Summer safe.
Yeah, I don't feel safe.
Can we just, for a complete tangent, they just admitted or just announced that they're making 70 new Rick and Morty episodes?
I can't.
I'm like, can we just redo them for 2 seasons and then see where we are?
Just a little bit. Let's look. We all know and love Dan Harmon. He doesn't have 7 seasons in him. Yeah. That man's going to self-destruct if he doesn't get some self-care.
Well, and I wonder if they keep it the same rate we're doing, we'll have those 70 episodes will last us our entire lifetime.
Yeah, basically.
So maybe he'll have enough time in between things to recharge.
Yeah.
I mean,
goodness.
They're not saying there's going to be 70 episodes in 5 years. Those That's 70, true. There could be a 3-year gap between seasons at some point.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned. I mean, it's a weird, bittersweet moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's do it. I'm in.
But anyway, keep Summer safe.
This episode, I don't know what the top 5 looks like.
Oh, here's the top episode.
I feel like I might.
Your top 5 is Descent, Abyss, Redemptions, Other Guys, and Allegiance.
Which one's Allegiance again?
You ask me these questions.
I do all the time. I don't remember. Here, I'll look it up.
And I know the episodes, but
but maybe I just have to remember which one it is.
I'm so bad with
I'm not replacing shit.
Yeah, I'm so bad with the name. I'm that horrible fan who can't pinpoint the names of the episodes.
Allegiance is the one with the Jaffa, the Tok'ra.
Yeah, the Jaffa, the Tok'ra, and the 3 sides.
Having to defend themselves from the Predator.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm calling them.
I am putting this at my number 5 and replacing Redemptions.
Oh, interesting.
Because there is some really fun stuff in this episode. Also, I'm going to be honest, guys. There's a long way of just Teal'c's arm clotheslining a guy that puts it into my top 5.
That is pretty good. Yeah. I think I'm going to stick with you having it in there, and then I'm going to not have it in there. Okay. Because then at the end of the season, it'll rear its ugly head, and then I'll have to think about it again.
We do have another Indeed that goes up to 19.
No, for crying out loud. I feel like this would have been a good time for one.
That would have been great when he's in
jail.
I was fishing, for crying out loud.
Yeah, something along those lines.
And next up is Paradise Lost.
Hey, that's a book I know.
That is a book you know, and we see another face that you know.
Oh boy, I'm going to guess.
Who's your guess? It is a face that we've seen.
Well, your notes do say annoying face.
It is. I did say where we see another annoying face.
What's his face is dead. One of the dudes died on Prometheus.
Uh-huh.
So not that dude.
Q died.
Who's left? The dude who's the hacker man now. The dude with the beard. Yeah.
Mayborn?
Is it Mayborn? I think
we'll find out.
Because I can't think. Well, unless it's an off-planet bad guy.
It could be an off-planet bad guy.
I don't know. Maybe we haven't been off-planet in a while. I think it's off-planet bad guy.
Okay. We'll see.
Done.
I'm gonna take a drink before we go.
I'm gonna try not to cough all over you guys while we finish up the episode. So wrap it up quickly.
Yeah.
On Twitter, you can find us at Terra Podcast.
On Facebook, you can find us at There's No Place Like Terra.
You can email us at there's no place like Terra @gmail.com.
At Patreon at patreon.com/there's no place like Terra.
Like us,
rate us, review us on
robots.
Apple Podcasts. Robots rejoice. Robots rejoice.
Love you guys.
Bye. In the robot parade. That was some nice. I just forgot the name of that band real quick.
I don't know what this.
It's that one band that I've listened to a lot of.
And that one, yeah.
Yeah, that's that one. Like, we're going to end the stream. Bye.